Hello guys, it's Shamaster. Today we're doing another Bottleman unboxing. This time we have Cobalt Bottle G. This is a remake of Cobalt Blade from Battle B-Daman, and it is using the rerecord G Bottleman as a base. So, yeah, very exciting. We actually have an anime character here on the box this time, since we don't have a God Cap anime, but of course we did have an anime for Battle B-Daman, so they show the character. So, only time we're seeing a character in Bottleman God Cap so far, I guess, and it's not a new one. So anyway, let's go ahead and open this up really quick, and I will definitely have some opinions on this thing. I definitely have thoughts, to say the least. This will be an interesting one to talk about, but for now, what do we get in the box? We have two bags right here, armor and hold parts and whatnot, core and trigger, stickers and instructions, and of course the caps, the cap for the head, and then also the shooting cap. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this all built, stickered up, do some testing, and then I'll be back to talk more about this, because I definitely, like I said, I have some thoughts on this, and doesn't matter how good it is, I still have some problems with what they did here, and I'll go ahead and talk about this thing normally, and then we will get into the critiques. So, yeah. Alright, so I now have Cobalt Bottle G all put together, stickered up, and tested. Here it is. Yeah, looks nice. Got the stickers going. Yeah, this is, of course, based on Cobalt Blade from Battle B-Daman, so unfortunately, I don't have the actual thing to compare because I never collected Beat-em-on, but that is what it is based on. Right off the bat, this thing, so this is, of course, using rerecord G as a base, and that was not a good base to use it on. I don't think this thing looks quite enough like Cobalt Blade, in my opinion. I think they're a little bit off, but, yeah, I don't particularly like that, so yeah, I guess just quickly to go over performance, and then I'll talk about some other stuff, but, yeah, you do have the same core, I guess more importantly, hold parts as rerecord G. Still has the same problem of feeling too crunchy. Part of that is, of course, the fault of the caps. For those who don't know, these were produced in China, not Vietnam. A lot of DX was produced in Vietnam, which just had a lot better quality, in my opinion. The China factory, for whatever reason, just isn't quite up to par, so shooting this thing feels very crunchy. If you use an older cap, it is better, but still kind of like that, unfortunately. And again, like rerecord G in its normal mode, it has a decent bit of power behind it. Again, comparable to 10 Satan DX, but it's still no like Colmar Energy DX or anything. Also, you do get a cap and a weight. So here's the cap it comes with, a nice orange one. You also get a blue weight. So what these weights will do, they add on to the weight, actually a little bit more than double the weight of a cap, which is pretty significant. And also, a cap might slightly bend inwards just a little bit when you're shooting. And this, having this in there, will kind of give it a second layer on the inside, plus you have these lines which give extra support, which basically will kind of increase tension because this will not flex in as much, so it can also help to get a stronger shot. Unfortunately, it is on these caps, but I guess you could use like an older cap or something, but you know, that's an idea. Anyway, but just as is, buying this as a product, it just doesn't really work too well, I would say. I just don't like how the shots feel on these Bottleman God Cap Bottlemen, so yeah, no. I will be talking more about that in my God Cap discussion pretty soon here, probably within the next couple days, because definitely have some issues here. But yeah, overall, again, this thing I've already talked about with rerecord G, basically all of its performance and stuff. But there are two main differences. The first one is that there's no gem on the head here. Instead, you have a horn. I guess you could use this for like a sight or something. That's kind of helpful to use it to help, you know, line up your shots. And also that there's no cap launcher in here. That was a massive L. So the problem with that is I understand why there was no cap launcher. Obviously, Cobalt Blade never used a giant launcher or anything like that. So I get not including it. However, there is the other mode that they could have used where they have this. I'm using these from the actual rerecord G, but you could have, potentially added these back parts on. Move it up a little bit, and I actually think that this somewhat... It doesn't work like the... it's not the same as the wings, for sure, that we would have saw on Cobalt Blade, and unfortunately I do struggle getting this one on there. Let's see, there we go. The cap fell. Anyway, and while, yeah, I know this isn't the same as the actual wings on Cobalt Blade, I think it at least adds to it. And I don't even know where my cap fell. Okay. I'll get that in a minute, but anyway. I think, yeah, again, this just really... And I just knocked the sticker off a little bit. That's not good. Okay, we're good. Anyway, this would have at least helped it, in my opinion. I think something like this makes it look a little bit more like Cobalt Blade. Again, it's not perfect, I get that. It is not quite, the same. The wings are different on Cobalt Blade, I know that, but having something back there, in my opinion, would at least help the design, which is why I wish that they would have included these. Maybe they could have redesigned them a little bit, or just, I guess if they were gonna, make Cobalt Blade based on rerecord G, they could have, from the start, maybe redesigned the big cap launcher a bit. But still, having something back there just feels right, I think, and it would have been a lot better to have included this. I don't know why they didn't. And again, I know it's actually a little bit cheaper because of that if you buy Cobalt Bottle G, because it doesn't have this, but still, I would have rather just had it, because otherwise it just feels like a massive downgrade to rerecord G. It's not way more expensive or anything, and you lose out on kind of the main new gimmick. And while I guess you could have just not included the big cap ring at that point, it's still just kind of like, I don't know. I wish they would have just included something like this, and it sucks that I have to use something from a different product to get something that feels a little bit better for what this was trying to be. And yeah, no, I'm just not really a fan of what they did here, but anyway, how my cap? I was looking for that while I was talking, but anyway. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this thing. I'm not the biggest fan, because again, when I take these off, this just does not feel like Cobalt Blade enough to me. It's like kind of okay, but it's still just not quite there in my opinion. I just don't really see it as much. Also, unfortunately, I did mention this in my rerecord G video. I should just mention this now as a quality control issue specific to rerecord G and Cobalt Bottle G. This left arm likes to come off sometimes while shooting. I have noticed that, so it's another L for this product, unfortunately. But yeah, this thing, I don't know, it just doesn't feel enough like Cobalt Blade, for me at least. I think they could have done a little bit better here, but they just didn't, so here we are. Yeah, no, I don't know. It just didn't quite pan out, I think. So overall, yeah, I will talk more about God Cap in a discussion very soon, but the launch is kind of an L a little bit. Not like terrible, but like, it's still like cool. It's just like, it was a little bit of a downgrade. Anyway, so what do you think about this Bottleman? Personally, I just don't think they did quite enough to warrant it really being a proper remake. I know that it's Bottleman. Not every remake needs to be exact, obviously, but here I feel like they at least had an opportunity with these pieces, especially, to make this thing feel a lot better and a lot closer to Cobalt Blade, but they just didn't do it, and I just don't think rerecord G was really the best base of a Bottleman either, so yeah, no, this thing, it exists, it's still a collector's item to get, I guess, but I definitely think it should have been better regardless, but yeah. That's basically all I have to say about this, so yeah, that is everything for Bottleman God Cap so far. Again, we'll do my discussion soon, but that is all of the kind of first wave products that I personally bought, so yeah. That's all for this video, so thanks for watching, and bye-bye.